A train wrecked a spitting fire. The NFT and Eliza diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From meme coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow.
Good morning, guys. Mega GMs. Welcome to Slam Nation. Oh, hang on. Come on, man. Come on. There we go. We greet each other, a little more personally now. Today's the day, man. Today is the day. What's up, CJ? Good to see you, sir. FOMC rate cuts coming. I think more than rate cuts actually, being formalized today. I think it's hearing the words from the Fed, and I think that helps us get some feels, our direction for where we're heading next year. So today's gonna be a really, really interesting day. Market looked really spicy yesterday, and for a minute, the we're back vibes were there. It was nice. It was nice for a minute. But something maybe did change yesterday. Somehow, some way, there's talks of a super cycle again. I believe it or not, we're this far in, and the thing, it's crazy. The things we've seen this cycle, some of us might have PTSD from the things we round tripped, but they're saying super cycle again. I can, I can get on board with that. I hope you took it, Luna. I hope you took it. Good morning, man. Good morning, Luna. Good morning, Cats. Okay. Let's get into it. Let me make sure we're on Abstract. Yeah, Abstract doing the Abstract thing. Love Abstract, by the way, but the streaming's not. Whatever. Anyway, hit the like on the show. We're live soon on Abstract. We're live on X. We're live on Kick. Always live on YouTube. Again, wherever you're watching, hit the like, but come over to YouTube. Subscribe over here. It's where the gang's hanging out and chatting. It's CryptoSlam over on that side. Make sure you're following us at Slam Nation X. I'm getting... okay. First off, don't just follow Slam Nation X. Come join us in Slam Nation X. And that applies to builders, and it's also... Well, yeah, builders. I want teams and I want builders to come on this show to talk about what you're building and why you're building it and how you're planning for, let's just say next year, the future, though, because that's why we're all here. We believe in this thing. But you builders who are building agents and dashboards and crypto applications, you need data to power those applications, and we have the best data. CryptoSlam data available to you through our APIs, through MCP. Get plugged in, man. Follow us also at CryptoSlam.io. But again, reach out to us. We'll get you plugged into Slam Nation. We'll give you credits to tap into our API, test it out. If you need custom APIs too, people are going to be blown away by what data we have behind the scenes. What you've seen through, let's say, Swarm Copilot, what you see on CryptoSlam itself. Each of those are a small percentage of what we really have behind the scenes, which is really interesting. You'll see some of the things that we're powering here soon. To that, I'll say, look, we got a big show coming next week. Thank you, Luna. Appreciate that, dude. I know. Yeah, CJ, what is this? I don't know. It sounds good. It sounds good for our bags. Actually, I'll tell you what I think the super cycle is in a minute. I think there is some. I think that's a thing. I do. I'm gonna bookmark that comment there. Okay. There's a really, really big stream coming up next week. I can't wait. Has the potential to be maybe the biggest stream we've done here with CryptoSlam. I can't wait. We'll get details about that out end of this week, maybe early next week. But I'm going to tell you, some of the biggest guests I've ever had on this show are already booked coming on. It's going to be pretty freaking awesome. Might be a marathon stream. At the very least, we're talking some hours. We're talking hours with, again, some of the biggest guests we've ever had on the show. More of that to come soon. Now, that stream is going to be over on the CryptoSlam account. It's a Slam Nation show, but we're going to host it on CryptoSlam. It's that big. So again, make sure you're following there. Now, keep your eyes also on the Swarm. Expect something. I shouldn't say expect. I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to get I don't want to be kicked in the teeth if maybe it gets delayed a week or so. Just expect some changes over here. Good changes. If you're a Swarm holder, you're going to love it. I guarantee if you're a Swarm holder, you're going to love. This is for you. But keep your eyes on the Swarm_AI. Some changes coming soon, and more of that to be revealed here very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. You'll see some of it next week, too. Can't wait. All right, let's get into the show today. Solana Breakpoint, we'll be talking about it tomorrow. Kicks off, tomorrow. Really cool, though. Look, I don't go to the IRL events. I don't go. I wish I went. I don't go. Especially overseas. I don't have a passport even, dude. I don't have a passport. It's ridiculous. I need to get that situated. Actually, dude, you want to know what's crazy? Not only do I not have a passport, I go out so infrequently. My driver's license just expired. Crazy. My license just expired over the weekend. I don't have a valid driver's license right now. I got to fix that, but we'll do that and get a passport and start going to these events. But if you're trapped at home like me, they're live streaming. They're live streaming the conference here. I'll be watching. I love these things. I do. I eat that stuff up. I like seeing the leaders of this space talking about what they're building, and maybe like CZ talking about a super cycle coming. And it's exactly what he's doing. Dude, I have probably left my house, let's see, since COVID. I don't think it'd be crazy to say I've left the house 100 times. It's not nothing, but, I probably average leaving the house 30 times a year, maybe less. It could be less. It could actually be less than that. It could be way less. I'm not sure, but it's not much. And I love it. I love it. Anyway, I'm going to be watching that. I can't wait. I hope we hear more super cycle talk. Does it look like a super cycle right now? No. Doesn't. Again, yesterday was great. Bitcoin got up to 94, might have touched 95K. Excitement around FOMC today, right? It's excitement about rate cuts, but there was actually some really interesting crypto products announced yesterday too. Part of the fuel for yesterday's energy. I think the bigger fuel was talk about more rate cuts coming in the future. That's the bigger thing that was driving yesterday's price action, I think. But there's good reason to be bullish still. Yeah, there is. We'll get to that. ETH at 3,300, Ripple 206, BNB 890, and Solana 137. Again, lost a little of that momentum. Oh, dude, cats, I kind of like it. Okay, you want to know the truth here? If you want to know the truth, here's the truth. All right, I'm bald, right? I hope people realize that. I wear a hat on this show, and I used to not, right? When I first started doing interviews and stuff out there, no hat. I think it's hilarious. I started growing my hair out, and you guys wouldn't see, right? Because I always hat on. Started growing my hair out, let's say 2 months ago. I think that branding thing is actually where it's going, cats. We're talking gonna look kind of wild. We'll see. We'll see. But definitely, I think heading that direction, leaning into the hermit character. We'll see. That's some alpha here. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. Anyway, ETF volume yesterday. How do we do? 151 million inflows, almost 152 million inflows. That's the Bitcoin ETFs. Over on Ethereum, I'll tell you this, cats. It ain't good. It ain't a good look, but I think it's an important look. I think it's important. Imagine a choose rich Nick kind of deal, but like a boomer hermit looking. Actually, I'm probably as old as Nick. We're probably right around the same, right? How old is Nick? I think we're right around the same. Anyway, ETH 177.7 million inflows. Good day for ETH yesterday. Actually, great day for ETH. Again, you saw 3,300, right? Good day for ETH. Solana. I think Solana's in the trickiest place right now. 16.6 million inflows. Yeah, Solana is known as the meme coin ecosystem. That's kind of what Solana is known for. Yes, there's more. Yeah, there's definitely more, but Solana is known as the meme coin ecosystem. It's a focus back on Ethereum right now. Big time. Big time. We'll see what narratives remain next year, but that's it. Okay, rate cuts. I think is it guys 2:30 or 3:30 Eastern time is FOMC, or at least when we'll get the decision on rate cuts. Expectation, we're looking at Polymarket right now. It is the source of truth. It is. Expectations is for a 25 basis point cut. It's up to, is it 97%? 97%. Higher odds of no change than a 50 basis point cut. You can pretty much bet on 25 today. Bet on it. And of course, we've got experts out there giving their takes. What are we going to see? How are we going to hear about it? I'll tell you this. This cut is priced in for sure. Doesn't mean we can't have some movement based on the Fed's words, but it's priced in. What I don't believe is priced in is January cuts, and it is sounding more and more likely that we do get cuts in January. It's sounding much more likely, and more to come after that. Morgan Stanley expecting December, January, and April cuts. The fear today is hawkish cuts, right? It's the cut, but some hesitation, some uncertainty about the economy here still. That's probably what we're getting today. It's why we don't send on this cut. It's priced in, and also there's going to be a little pause, a little something there for you to just, hold on to your bags for now. Moonship, good morning, man. Mike, good morning. Bank of America also 25 basis point cut, what they're expecting here. Across the board, everybody, 25 basis point cut, with many dissents possible. Again, this is not going to be a very bullish cut for us. It's not. We won't get dovish comments. Now, a January cut, and if Powell won't rule out January, I like this a lot. There you go. He's going to avoid a dovish tone. There you go. Right. If we get a January cut, or when we start talking more like that's a certainty, that is not priced in this market. I don't believe it is. That does start moving us back towards, I don't know, upper 90s, but probably with a new year and some other exciting things probably coming, market structure bill, that probably has us back around 100. I like Luna's level, by the way. Thinking 100, I think 7 is where he's been calling, or whatever. 107 is a number he's thrown out, thinking that if we get gifted 107, Luna's ready to short there. I like that number, by the way. I like that level. I think that, look, possible this year, maybe. A number we probably see in January. I lean towards probably. I think we're talking, 100 plus December, January. I mean, I would bet on that, but especially January, yes. Especially. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Luna, 100 to 107. Yep. And I think we'll get there. I think everybody here probably assumes we're going to get there. And it's how much higher do we get? I still believe we can see all-time high next year. You look at fundamentals right now, you don't see it. It's not there. It's not. But I'm expecting things to change next year. Or I should say I'm hoping. I'm believing they're going to change. Sir Billy, good morning. I think that's what's going to happen. Priced in. I think the words are the only thing that moves the markets here today. So we'll see. Now, here's where things can get really interesting really quickly. Watching it. I'm just watching. Our next Fed chair, Hassett, asked if there's more than a 25 basis point cut that's available to this market. He's saying yes. We're getting more cuts next year. And there's a really, really crazy scenario where we could get more this year. It's not going to happen, by the way. It's not going to happen. But there's a crazy scenario where we could, which is if Jerome Powell is given the boot. It kind of can't happen. But Trump is now talking about Biden using the auto pen to sign some Fed appointments, talking about Powell. I'm just like, Trump can do crazy stuff, and he's a guy who does crazy things. Crazy things happen and have happened all year long. You can't say that won't happen, although it's probably not happening. But we put the but there. There's a lot of things that can happen that can move this market violently. very quickly. It's a very risky market right now. This seems like one of the riskiest times ever. It does. It just does. But there is a scenario. I'm going to play this clip, guys. I hope you have audio. I'm going to actually play just a second. This is only 17 seconds long. Do you have audio? Do you guys have audio with that? You should, although, you know how this works. Actually, while I'm waiting for your guys' replies, I'm going to retweet the show here. There still is a scenario, guys, where we get a wild 26. I mean that. I don't want people to bet based. God damn it, dude. So frustrating with StreamYard. All right, hang on. Let me reshare. Okay. At least I know exactly what the issue is and how to fix it, I guess. Annoying, though. Okay. You'll have audio now. All right. There is a scenario where next year is, I mean it, wild. Like I was just saying, don't bet on it. If you are newer to crypto and maybe you watch this is your touch point to crypto, I'm not telling you to make a bet because next year is going to be crazy. I'm not saying that at all. But I think there's a scenario where it happens. All right, here's CZ speaking today. There's a Bitcoin conference going on right now. Michael Saylor was there, gave a speech. Here's CZ again yesterday.
Don't quote me on this, but I think that force will be quite strong. So that force may be strong enough to offset the 4-year cycle. Who knows? Yeah.
So you're saying next year bull market?
We may be seeing a super cycle. Wow. So we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, again, it's just guy talking. Guy on the spot saying things. Yikes, cats. Yikes. I'll tell you what. I think it's a coin flip. I think the odds are decently, I think the odds are pretty good. Next year's phenomenal. I believe, I really do think so. But I would say don't bet on the super cycle narrative. But there is something really, really interesting happening. And of course, it has to do with our debt, and it has to do with AI, and it has to do with robotics, and it has to do with the economy. It is this K-shaped economy now. And it's very specific things doing very well. And Bitcoin, if it looks like it hasn't, we already know a lot of that has to do with these massive OG Bitcoin whales dumping their Bitcoin. This big rotation's happening. At some point that stops. But there is a scenario still where that happens. Again, more rate cuts is part of it. The market structure bill is a big part of it, a huge part of it. It's like a necessary part of it. And things like this. This is one of those things that I think CZ was referencing, the thing that can offset the 4-year cycle, just like I think the tariffs crushed the best part of this market. I think the tariffs actually kept us down. We didn't reach the heights I think we should have reached. But I think there's things happening next year that also offset a bear market. And it's only in specific assets too, I think. We'll see. But big news yesterday from Bitwise. They have a new ETF. Actually, technically, I'm not sure if this is new. The BitW ETF. Officially getting a listing on the New York Stock Exchange. This is actually pretty wild. There you go. The world's first crypto index fund. I think technically it's number 2. But what you're looking at here is a basket of top 10 cryptos. It's Bitcoin, it's ETH, it's Ripple, it's Solana, it's Cardano, it's Chainlink, Litecoin, Sui, Avalanche, and Polkadot. That traditional investors can go and buy this index fund and get exposure to those cryptos. We'll see. Is that enough money coming into crypto? They don't hold that crypto, by the way, right? I think that's held trade away, but they do actually purchase and sell crypto via this. I wasn't sure at first, is this like a proxy play on just prices? It's not. There is crypto purchase sold. Is it enough to move this market? We don't know yet. We don't know, but we do know Bank of America is advising their customers hold like up to 4% in crypto. We know that retirement plans are coming into crypto. We know there's trillions of dollars coming into crypto. It's words right now until it's not. And when that happens, we see that in the market. And it's how extreme does it look? And you start having these puzzle pieces that are starting to fit together. And what does it look like? To me, it looks like Bitcoin at $1 million in 5 years. And that doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over the course of a few years. meaning we're now 4 years away from that moment, basically. And I don't think it looks like Bitcoin living down at, I don't know, 60K or 30K at an extreme. I think we can touch them. Do we live there? No. In fact, I think it's this like we're seeing now, 126K, and then we dump down to 80s, and we kind of consolidate there, and then we're going to go play back above 100, and I think we start ranging up, and I think we see new all-time highs next year on our way up to $1 million Bitcoin. I do think. Wait, like, is this real? Are we talking like DiCaprio, Leonardo DiCaprio? And let me see. Kevin is May next year. Yep. Microscope up the Fed's ass is pretty new. Need to pay more attention to where tax dollars go and black budgets. Would love that, Mike. Yes. And I haven't tried Zyber yet. Oh, like Leo's the name of a dog got killed by a car. Oh, and I'm guessing we got a meme coin about it. There we go, right? A dog, not Leo. Wait, dude, Luna, we saw Leo. We saw Leonardo DiCaprio at Art Basel. He's like in my head now. I love Leo, dude. Anyway, this is a big deal. This is why I can be so optimistic about next year. It's a maybe scenario. It's an I believe scenario. There are things coming into this market, into play, that really make this market different. It's different than ever before. It is different. So is the cycle different? Are our highs different? Is everything different? The action of this market? Yeah, I think it is. Bitwise CEO saying 5 banks ranging from 300 bill to 2 trillion have approved Bitwise ETPs for wealth management clients in the last 6 months. More are coming. They've talked about this consistently. They're always meeting these bigwig investors, and they're saying they're all coming to Bitcoin, all of them. We haven't heard half of them. They're all coming. Good morning, Hoods. Good to see you, man. They're coming. It will reflect in the market in a way. Now, here's a proposed other ETF. Again, this market's just getting different, and I love it. Here's an ETF that only holds Bitcoin overnight. U.S. market's brutal, by the way. Studies have been done that show that most gains in Bitcoin come when U.S. markets are closed. Just is what it is. We're terrible. We're terrible, man. We're paper hands, right? Well, what about an ETF that only holds Bitcoin overnight, sells before markets open? Might be coming. This market's going to, it's maturing right in front of us, and it's going to get very fun. A lot of people, a lot of people are saying crypto bottomed. Of course they would. This is look, it's like NFT bros bull posting about their bags while they're down 99%. I'm going to show you how down they are, by the way. But bags down 99% and still people talking like we're just getting started. Of course they're going to do it. They have the most at risk here. But Tom Lee's saying crypto likely bottomed. There's a 200x adoption to come. Yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily agree that we've seen the bottom. I think we have. I really think we have. But I agree 200x adoption's coming. Absolutely. Mike Bennett, I agree there too. Going to be very volatile today. Yep. I think so. And I think both good. I think that's good. Volatile can mean, hey, we might see 97. I doubt it. I actually doubt it. I think we see 80s again. But either way, nothing surprises me today. Kathy Wood saying the same thing. We know this, of course. She also thinks Bitcoin over $1 million, but saying thinks we've seen the bottom. I do. Moving on from this quickly, but just again, 4-year cycle might be dead. Markets changed, matured. Yes. And maybe, and I don't like this take. I'll just say this. Like these guys from Bitwise a lot, right? Like a lot. Actually, I would love to get them on the show next week. I'll tell you, Nate Geraci coming on the show. So we'll have that kind of caliber, guest coming on the show next week. I would love to get, actually, I would like Matt Hogan on the show. Would be sweet. I'm going to reach out. But here's the thing. I don't like saying that 25 was a bear market. I don't love that talk because I don't think that's real. Right? We're not going to look back at 25 and say it's been a bear market since February. That's not a bear market. It's not. But I like when he talks about things that offset what the market is, and it is what happened. He's saying that the bear market was offset by the digital asset treasuries, Bitcoin treasury companies, right? Yeah. I mean, yes, I do think that's part of what happened. And I think the tariffs is the thing, is the point. It masked how good the market really was. And still we hit 126 Bitcoin. The tariffs keeping that all kind of muted. We'll see. I think 26 is going to be incredible. And the Bitwise guys, I'll tell you this, last point here, have since, I'll say, at least mid-year. Actually, way early. I'll say this way earlier. Been saying that 2026 is going to be a really, really good year. They've consistently said that. I trust that they know what they're talking about. I agree with them. I think 26 is going to be a very, very good year. We'll see. You have customers of PNC Bank, specifically their private bank clients, that can now buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin, but they can trade Bitcoin right in their banking app or right on their bank website, partnering with Coinbase for that. This is what a matured market looks like. This is going to happen everywhere. So many more people are getting exposure to crypto. And no, it doesn't help our bags. There's still the idea that if Bitcoiners make a lot of money, if we can see like a 2x in Bitcoin, which we could, I actually think we could. I think we could see 200K Bitcoin next year. I don't believe it, but I think it. I try to like be specific, right? As I can, as specific as I can. Doesn't help us unless those top dogs get rich and decide to spend here. I'm not sure if they're gonna. But you have things like this, an announcement from the Trump meme coin project that bring in normies into our world. This is pure degen stuff, man. But the Trump meme coin project is now launching a mobile game, the official Trump mobile game, with $1 million in Trump coin rewards. Just crazy gambling crypto crack. And hey, I think some people will make money there, and in a way that's good for our space. In a way. The part that we kind of enjoy, right? Anyway, this is interesting. It's cool. I hope we see more easy to access gambling apps. Mike Bennett, next bear will line up with a real estate crash, I believe. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, we kind of like live and die by the housing market. I think some things that I've listened to, heard, read about needing rates to come down so people can like refinance their mortgages and whatnot, which really opens up the whole market, right? If that doesn't happen, at least not extreme enough, then I think also we're kind of capped. Trump coin kind of did screw up things. It was, you know, the Melania coin and the Libra coin. It was that kind of whole thing right there, but it's the tariffs that crushed us, man. It's the tariffs that crushed this market. For so many reasons, right? The uncertainty in the market and then us all paying more, you know, at the grocery stores and what, you know what I mean? It's the tariffs that crushed us. And of course, yeah, the Trump thing wasn't great. That said, when you're plugged in, when you're watching this every day like we are, I hope we all made money on the Trump meme coin. I hope we did. We saw it early. Market structure bill coming. This is great. This is one of those things, you know, when I talk NFTs and I say the things you need to have for NFTs to come back, you need the metaverse. You need AR, VR to be mainstream. You need ownership. Well, for crypto to do its different thing, you need the market structure bill. And it's coming really, really close. Although there's been some talk saying they don't have enough votes. We'll see. But Cynthia Loomis is saying this bill, I don't actually think he's correct here, Vivek. I don't think she said it's going to pass in 2 weeks. I think they're going to get it out of the draft form in 2 weeks. It may not pass until January, but it still might pass today. Then again, I think I saw Cory Booker say they don't have enough votes from Democrats to pass this. They want more Democrats appointed to the SEC, like to committees, right? SEC and CFTC. Otherwise, they're not voting. Republicans will concede there, I think. This will pass either December or January. It's coming really soon, and we need it. Good morning, Dad. Good to see you, brother. We need it, and it is coming. To me, this is not a maybe, I hope thing. This is definitely going to pass. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen Coinbase roll out their, you know, ICO launch pad, right? We wouldn't have seen certain things happen unless people were very sure this is going to pass. It is going to pass. Draft this week, hearing and vote planned for as early as next week. Maybe it does pass within 2. Wow, dude. Luna, crazy. Got in at 200 mil. I'm trying to remember where I got into Trump. I think like, God, I'm trying to remember. My brain's so bad now. Under 10 mil, I'm pretty damn sure. I think like 2-3 mil, somewhere ballpark. I'll say under 5 mil, I'm pretty sure. Did okay on Trump, right? Getting in 200. Oh, hang on. Now my numbers are getting funny. No. I think I was in at, how high did Trump get? We're talking like, did Trump get to like, help me guys, 50, like 50 bill? Yeah, okay. I was in at like 5 bill or 2 bill or somewhere around then. Pippin, be careful with Pippin, dude. We'll look at Pippin. Be careful with Pippin. But also it's pretty great. Trump got to 80, guys. Crazy. Trump was a top 10 token, basically, right? Crazy. Yeah, I think I was in it like 5. It was a 2 bill or 3 bill or 5 bill, somewhere around there. Crazy, dude. We may never see something like that again. There is a scenario where we do. I'll show you. There is a scenario where we see something like that again. And I know it's hard to believe. Probably most here don't think that. I do. There's a very specific reason why. I think we'll see something like that again. Not this time around. I don't think this time around. But I do think we'll see something like that again. Remember, the tokenomics were part of why that pumped so much, right? Yep. Oh, dude. Do you guys remember? Part of next week's stream is like a review of the year. And so we'll talk Trump. Do you guys remember looking at your bags across the board? Every other token you're in, just like not even bleeding out, like just full on dumping as people are looking for liquidity to throw into Trump. You remember that? You remember that feeling looking at everything else just dumping? Oh, hate it. Okay, hear me out on this. SpaceX is going to IPO next year at a $1.5 trillion valuation. Crazy, crazy numbers. Also, just know the game is like rigged, as in certain people have gotten access to SpaceX stock early. It's how it works, you know, but like people in certain positions get access to certain things like this, just like here in crypto. If this is your exposure to markets, if this is it, right? You've seen it. If you know the right people, you get a whitelist, right? You know, stuff like that. There's some guys who are going to make generational wealth on something like this because they've had access to buy it, even on secondary, you know? I mean, yes, on secondary, but some of these guys are about to make many, many multiples, and it's not something most people are getting access to. It's a game. Okay, so I just want to point out a $1.5 trillion IPO, and I believe 2026 is going to be the year of ICOs again. I'm not saying like that. We're not talking trillions. We're not. But 2026 IPOs is going to be silly. And no, it's not sustainable, I don't believe. But you combine the Clarity Act with this new ICO meta that's coming, and it has already started. Paul Atkins saying ICOs tied to network tokens, collectibles, digital tools, not treated as securities, don't fall under the SEC's purview. Well, I want ICOs that are like Caesar that equal ownership, and those would fall under the SEC purview or the CFTC. I think SEC. But that's what I'm thinking. This is what I'm really hoping happens is we see an ICO meta that it does equal ownership, and we start talking. I mean, would be freaking incredible to talk about a company valued at 1.5 trillion or even 1 trillion, or let's even say 300 bill. I don't care. I'm just talking big numbers. A big company worth a ton of money that's ICOing where token equals ownership. I hope we see that next year. That's the scenario where ICOs are ridiculous, where we see another Trump kind of meme coin. That's the scenario. It's not an I believe thing. I believe one day we do see that. I hope it's next year, and I don't think it is, but I hope. There's a chance. And regardless, I think ICOs are going to cook this year, next year. The wet token that launched on that Jupiter launchpad, 5 or 6x from pre-sale. Right? We talked about that briefly. I didn't do any kind of deep dive on it. I heard a lot of FUD about the tokenomics, but regardless, a 6x on that one. Rainbow Wallet announced the pre-sale, their ICO. They're selling 3% of their supply at 100 mil FTV. Probably has some upside there. Octra, ICO on Sonar. So with Coinbase, 10% of their supply at 200 mil, and then Fogo, ICOing 2% of their supply. That's on December 7th. I don't know what valuation. There's big ICOs coming, and I think ICOs next year are going to be silly. Thank you, Market Structure Bill. ICOs next year are going to be silly, guys. I believe. Man. Hey, if it's all over, we had a hell of a time still. We did. We did. And I hope we learned a lot, and I hope we play the next cycle better, although some of you, I think, crushed it this cycle. I'm at least happy to be up this cycle, but didn't reach the heights of last time around. Not even close. Mice. Insiders made the most money with Trump, and if you weren't in the pre-sale, the best you could have made was... No, Mice, that's not true. If you weren't in the pre-sale, the best you could have made was a 2... No. Mice, I'm pretty, I hope I'm remembering right, but I'm pretty sure if you were very quick, you were in it, a few bill. I'll say sub 10 bill. I think for sure. No, I think people got like 5, 6, probably 10Xs out of Trump. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. There was a very short window of time very early where you could get in like pretty low. It was still in the billions, but yep. Anybody can check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure there was some opportunity to get in there like sub 5 or 10 bill. I mean, nice things all on chain. I can go peek, but so the wet pre-sale did great. It did great. Probably should have looked at that harder. Probably played in it. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I'm thinking right. Yeah, I think the guys I know that I was trading with in sub 5 bill. Yeah. So again, you had you had like a 15x or something in it. It just, you had to be kind of quick, but quick, first hour, maybe even first 30 minutes. You know what I mean? But again, most people here are so plugged in. We saw it in the first, 30 minutes. We all saw it real quick. That was fun. It was fun. ICOB's talking about another ICO coming. It's Fogo. Mentioned it before. I'm not familiar with Fogo. Oh, does this have to do with that frog game? Yeah, it does. This is the frog game that I think Nick had put out there. It's one to watch. Fogo. Look, ICO meta. I'd say play any ICOs. Well, whatever. Don't listen to me, but look at any ICOs that have the big guys talking about them. And those are the ones I'm going to show on this show. Speaking of which, I got a peek at Monad. I just got a peek, but ICOs are going to be incredible. I think in 26, like I always say, I think virtuals is a phenomenal spot to do this. Yeah, Mice, it really got up there. We had a good, yeah, it really cooked. It really did. Monad just over pre-sale price. You're basically flat. Nice thing though, if you bought Monad pre-sale, you're getting access to the next token sale, which I bet they're announcing like anytime now. It's about once a month we're going to get a token sale on Coinbase, so that's coming. So be ready for that. Again, next year ICOs, and it is happening now, but ICOs 26 with a market structure bill and some excitement and some more liquidity in this space and rate cuts, and you know what I'm saying? Like and a form of quantitative easing. I've been reading a lot about that where we're not getting it, but we're getting it in other forms. We'll see. Next year could be pretty awesome, I think. And then last point here, we'll go on to virtuals, but Black Hole Avalanche Dex did a ton of volume over there. Now coming to ETH. I would be watching. We shall see. All right, on to the AI tokens. How are we? Hey, looking pretty decent. 6.15 bill market cap, up almost, over 5% in the past 24 hours. Fartcoin at 360 mil, followed by Tibber, Toshi, Elk, and Rect. Still really like Rect. The version of tokens that work next year, I think, are going to be like Rect. A meme coin, it's a brand coin, it's tied to whatever, their business, it's got rev sharing, they buy back tokens, plus the NFT holders are equity holders of the brand. I love that. It just copy Rect. Copy them. That simple. You can't copy OSF, though. There's one OSF. He's the GOAT. On the infrastructure side, FET's on top here still. I don't know anybody that ever talks about FET, that uses it, but it's always top dog here. I don't know. We've dug into that a long time ago. Probably worth revisiting it. But FET's on top, followed by Virtual, DCAI. Pippin's at 352 mil. Are you kidding me? Is Pippin now the ultimate crime coin? And I still don't get why it's in infra, why it's not in agents. But okay. 352 mil. It's a crime coin. And that's fine, by the way. It's a crime coin. It's like, I guess, the meme coin of Aster now. 300. That's bonkers. Good for you, Mike Bennett. That's freaking awesome, man. I'm shocked by it, dude. I'm shocked. This was at probably what, 5 mil 2 months ago? Just guessing. It was basically just nothing. Hang on. Now I want to look. I think that's crazy. Hang on, let's go. Hang on. By the way, Copilot works on Gecko Terminal. I actually should load it up here. Actually, do I have it up here? Oh. Copilot is base in ETH, not Solanus. We won't see it here. All right, hang on. Let's go to, there we go, 3-month chart. Here we go. This was chilling at an 11 mil market cap back in October. Literally, what, a month and a half ago, mid-October, 10, 11 mil. And then all of a sudden, November 22nd, we'll say, 22nd or 23rd, crime. There it is. There's Pippin. Awesome, by the way. Love to see it. But that's Pippin. And Pippin didn't do, as far as I know, did not do anything like new. Actually, here you go, guys. How about this? October 11th, this was 8.6 mil. So after the 10-10 crash. This is wild. We're talking like a 40x from there. We're talking a 40x. 8 weeks ago. This is a wild thing to see. Again, it's cooking because it's listed on Aster, so people trading it with leverage and tons of volume and, you know, awesome. Awesome. But that's why. Awesome. So there's Pippin. GG's to, I only know Mike that's holding it, so GG's to you, dude. It's freaking awesome. Over on DeFi, it's Venice, Cortex, Olas, AI Tech, Banker, and then Mindshare real quick. And then on the virtuals, I think I found, I don't want to say a gem on virtuals, but I found something that's not nothing. It's a little hidden too, so I'm excited to talk. Mindshare Fart Coins on top, Warp, Elsa Cookie, and Virtual. I like Virtual. I just do. I mean, luckily right now we're hearing some pre-sales that sound good. Like Fogo or whatever it was called. Like, it's probably going to be a good one. Do you think it'd be wise to short Pippin right now? God, imagine if we get the magic scenario and Bitcoin is, I'm talking like short term in December, Bitcoin back over 100. It feels like things are about to get exciting. We start, you know what I mean? Like if the stars align and we get a hot end of the year, Pippin can go to 500. Yeah. I expect Pippin to go that other way too. Why not? But then again, fart coin, it's crazy. Who knows? Who knows? But it is a crime coin. And I love it. Okay, over in virtuals, quick peek at the past couple of days of launches. Not seen anything that's like melting faces here at all. Well Robotics, 228K. Ain't on base, 200K. Credit Core, I mean, just nothing. Like we thought, right? Right, we covered all the launches, and I looked at them, I'm like, guys, there's nothing on the board. It's all a bunch of nothing burgers. Respect to builders, but nothing here is going to be, you know, we've got no winners here other than Fuku on the show, a week ago. Fuku looks really solid. 3.3 mil. I don't see a ton of upside on Pippin. I mean, if the market gets hot, I can see it pushing 10 just from people trading it. But no real utility for the token, if that matters, right? I think Pippin's right in his range. It goes up with the market. It'll die with the market too at some point. Like that team a lot. Like the platform. Token's going to do fine. Still nothing from recent on virtuals that beats Reply and especially Repo. Nothing beats those two. Nothing beats them. Repo at 22 mil. Replies right around 5, I think. 4.99. There we go. Both of them great. Both of them a lot of upside still, especially Reply. I think Reply we're going to see it like 15, 20 in January. I'll go 15. I'll just go with that just to have a number. But I'm going to go Reply. We see it 15 in January. And Repo, I still believe sky's the limit there. I think 50 plus mil. January, February, whenever we start getting real hot, if we get real hot. Remember, government shutdown could be here in January again, end of January. So like all this, and I'm still not willing to bet on stuff, but there's hope. All right, on the board right now. Trigon, I actually am not familiar with. That's new on the board. I'm going to peek at that real quick. Hang on. I'm going to like it, but it's not good, I'm assuming here. I'm going to play that video even too. AI-powered creation engine transforms simple ideas into fully generated NFT collections. Okay. I don't hate that. I don't think it matters, but I don't hate that. I'm going to play the video too. And then I'm going to show you the secret gem here. Yeah, 15 feels right, right? Like 15 is a respectable market cap or FDV. Good team, good product, all that. And I think 50 is a very, very good target. Like, it's reasonable. That shouldn't shock anybody to see reply at 15. I also think it shouldn't shock anybody to see reply at 30 if we get hot. But 15, I think, is a target. All right. Let me know with audio. I think we should be okay, but let's hear what's up.
Imagine transforming your workflow with AI-driven automation. Trigon.xyz is revolutionizing how we automate tasks by using real-time inputs and conditions. Discover how this platform is changing the game for businesses worldwide. Developers, imagine automating without the burden of heavy back-end logic. Trigon.xyz offers a developer-friendly design that
Hope we got
enhances
audio.
productivity.
I
Set
hope
up
we do.
automated
Damn.
workflows with ease and focus on what truly matters.
Okay, that's fine. Do we had audio? I hope. Anyway, a tool to help you launch an NFT collection, takes care of the metadata for you, probably helps you create traits and all that stuff too. Good. Okay, anything on the board catch your guys' eyes? Cats, did anything here stand out to you? Even Luna too. Again, I know Luna plays virtual stuff, which is awesome. There's one here on the board that I think is actually sneakily okay, sneakily decent. I'm not talking a monster kind of token, but it's not going to be sub 100K. I'll say that. Right? That's probably a good way to put it, right? The tokens that are just kind of like the nothing burger tokens. All these tokens you see under 100K, right? 26, 60K, 26K, right? The one I'm thinking of is not going to be one of those. It's probably going to be 500K, 300, 500K, maybe up to $1 million. So again, nothing crazy, but it's not one of those nothing tokens. Oh, Wildcats. Okay. That's good honestly, it's good to know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like out of touch and I know I'm not, but hearing you not looking, yeah, it's real. Real is the one that I think is a little under the radar because how their page is set up and there's no details about team and whatever. Just takes a little digging and you can find it. But I'm going to play this real quick and I'll show you why I'm a little, not bullish is not the right word, but this will be a successful launch, I think.
Merge or more. Upgrade or road. You were born with a body, but it was used for a proxy with a face like yours, but cleaner, emptier, hungrier. Run. Not away, but within.
Just trippy. Cool. Like, cool video. The video's not what wins me, though. It's like the video's cool. But what is it? What is it? It's a framework for human-agent collaboration in art and entertainment. It evolves the historic factory model of artistic production into an AI-native, agentic network creative system directed by world-renowned artist and technologist Joan Ruffman. Okay, neat. It's like an audio-visual like tool. I think helps you make music. I think helps you make music videos. Okay. So here's the deal. Like, right team, you don't have anything here. So you just do a little digging. You go to their website, you go to their Notion site, and here's what you start uncovering. I'm not going to tell you it's anything like mind-blowing, but it's not nothing. This is not one of those sub 100K projects. This is an artist who has gotten press and coverage, who actually has a token out there already, which gives us a way to measure this. It gives us something to compare it to. This artist's been covered by the New York Times. Not a big deal, I know, but this is not a nothing thing. This is actually the artist, Cloudy Heart. Great mutuals, I'll say that. Great mutuals, like people I really, really respect following. And I'll start calling out some of them. and some hypey people following this person too. Thread guy follows a lot, so that's not one, but like that's good. Mando follows. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. DCF God follows. It's pretty good. Spider, I like Spider a lot. I like Spider a lot for reasons. Confusion follows. That's enough for me. Confusion's great. Chartfu follows. These aren't the best ones. Adam from TokenWorks follows. Pussy Riot follows. That's great. This is a real musician, by the way. Ansem follows. Does he follow a ton of people? Not really. Okay, there's more. Bunshu follows. Super Rare John follows. Logan Hitchcock follows. Dees follows. Raheem follows. I'm going to keep going. Some Virtuals people following. Spotty Wi-Fi does. Max Osiris, which I love Max. Captain does. Jimmy Edgar. I'm going to keep going. There's a lot. Like, it's got some great followers. Some of those are enough to actually move the market if they were to tweet about it. I don't think they're going to tweet. But this is not a nothing thing. This is not a scam token. This is a real artist who's very connected here in crypto. I don't think that's a real photo. Actually, maybe it is. Yeah. Real artist, real person, AI, music, and video, and very, very cool. Look, has a YouTube account, only 100 subscribers, but it's really good. It's really good stuff. It's really good. Again, only 100 subs. Has like 800 followers on Spotify. But again, the point here is it a nothing burger, or is it something that maybe there's a chance to make money on the token, and beyond that is actually kind of cool? I think it's actually kind of cool. I think this is one of the better launches we've seen then on Virtuals, and that's not saying much. This is not another reply. This is not another repo at all. But this is also not that garbage stuff. This is legit. So launching in 2 days from right now, I might buy it. It's one of those things you wait and you watch the FDV, you wait and watch the tax. And if you can find a sweet spot, and if you can get in here at 100K, you actually do have some upside. You actually could see this at 500. You actually could see this at $1 million. You have a little play here, I believe. You could get a 5X out of this. Maybe you get a 10. I'm just telling you there's a play here because there's actually some substance. It's not garbage. That's it. That's the under the radar one. Now, there is a token already for this artist on Solana, 400K market cap. I think 15% of the supply is going to their holders over there. So not great, but also that's how it works. It's fine. I mean, Fuku had the same thing, so it's fine. But how high has this gotten? Let's see. Does kind of help. What kind of ceiling do we think this artist has? Okay, at launch. Wow. Well, at launch, when was this? January of this year. It touched 63 mil. It did what all tokens do. It's lived in pretty decent. Pretty decent. Now, more recent is what matters, and we're, half a mil or so. Let's go here. I just want to see more recent the past couple months, which sucks, but back in September, this is where it lives. And I think you can expect basically the same thing on the base side, but I actually think you can expect more because it's going to get the support of Virtuals. I think it will. It's going to get the support of the base ecosystem. So if the Solana coin lives at 400K up to let's say 600K, 700K, I think we could see double that range on base. We could. So again, I'm watching the coin. I'm watching that launch. I may play that unicorn launch. I might actually get in that pre-sale. Well, not pre-sale, but you know what I mean. I might get in this one. So there you go. It's a little secret gem on Virtuals. Nothing crazy, but I think there's an opportunity there. I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, nothing. There's just nothing here. There's nothing. Gone through them all, read all the descriptions, checked out their sites, vetted the teams as much as I could. There's nothing here. There's nothing here that I think we've got a play. Let's double check this one. Just going to check those founders. But real is a play. Yeah, right. No, nothing here either. So there we go. We have something coming to Virtuals. I do want to get more in depth and see how is it growing, expanding, whatever. It's going to be ACP, which, good. But what more is there? And is there token buybacks and whatever? I do like this kind of stuff, like a residency program, helping other artists. I like it. We should probably connect them with Wave somehow, some way, right? Probably something there. Anyway, token launches, community airdrop claim for Cloudy holders. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, enough time on that, but solid. Happy to have found it, Who does she follow? Yeah, okay. Again, nice, well-connected artist. I think that one's kind of interesting. Nothing else on the board. We still have all the Virtuals Hackathon things coming, right? We're going to get some good stuff coming. I'm excited for it. So be ready. Virtuals 26, I think we start the year pretty darn hot. Last couple of AI points here. Anthropic donating MCP to the Agentic AI Foundation, which it's like I don't know if it's like a nonprofit open source kind of, guardian of protocols, which I think it is. And that's in partnership with Anthropic and OpenAI and others. But just to see, MCP no longer going to be known as an Anthropic product or protocol. It's now the AI Foundations. A directed fund under the Linux Foundation. Cool. Pretty cool. And then last thing. By the way, I haven't seen a lot of updates from Virtuals projects lately. You know what I mean? No, I have not seen much. I don't know if that's my algo and my dude. Twitter's been bad. Twitter's been terrible the past week. It's slow from conferences and holidays and seasons, but it's dead out there, man. I'm not seeing any virtual stuff. Luna, I agree. Virtuals is ahead of its time, and I think they're set up to weather any down periods like they have done. I think Virtual's in a very good spot. Somebody from I'm trying to remember Dex. I'm sorry, Bybit. There we go. Bybit froze $130,000 related to that Basis OS hack from a month ago. Funds getting recovered. That would go right back to Virtuals because Virtuals made everybody square. But cool to see. Over in NFTs, and boy, I didn't leave us much time to talk doodles, but we're going to talk doodles. And if you want to hear more about NFT stuff, Henry and I got Chart Monkeys coming up this morning, 12 p.m. Eastern time. So coming up in 2 hours, actually. That's over on the CyberKongs account. It's not a CryptoSlam show, but hey, if you're a Swarm holder, if you're in our ecosystem, I shill our shit over there. So, and we get a good audience over there. They get to hear about our stuff. So there we go. Anyway, NFT market, 9.2 million cross-chain sales. So sales trending up barely. It's kind of nothing. Sellers way down, buyers down, transactions actually up, average sale price down, trade profits still $1 million in the negative. I'm bummed about FWOG, by the way. We'll talk about that today too. But looking at the top collections, you see Doopy's on the board. That is the new Solana collection, man. Did not do great. Did not look good. Didn't look good. Luna, I think you'll like our new update. Bro. I hope it makes Swarm holders very happy. Back to the Doopies in a second, just to say, Beeple's calling CryptoPunks the most overvalued asset class in the world. I don't think he's wrong. I also don't think he's right. I can see punks one day. There will be an end of a cycle here at some point. We will see a true bear market at some point. Although I still can get with this idea that we're in such a bizarre time and so much is broke and so much has to change that we see 5 years of unheard of things. I can see that. But I think a bear market's coming at some point. And I think we'll see punks trading around $20,000 in a bear market. I can see that. I just look for a price that makes sense. If people are hurting, what's the most people are going to pay? I can see 20,000. They're overvalued, but also they're not. If I had $100,000, I would buy one. Beanie's mostly wrong on the take, but also I agree. And it's hard to make that make sense. I know, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. So the Doodles launched their Doopies collection. I think they did it about as wrong as you could. And I like the Doodles, of course. I say it every time. I'm rooting for them. I root for everybody. But it was awful. It was awful. Announcing the collection, I would say 3 to 4 days ahead of the mint. Poor communications with how you have to register. You actually had to register if you were a holder. It wouldn't just check your wallet day of. You had to register ahead of time. Not great mechanics for the claim as far as a doodle gets one of these doopies, a duplicator gets one, wasn't fair, wasn't even. They ended up changing it to doodles get two. But again, the comms were bad at a time when, like I was saying before, X is dead. They launched this at the worst time. X is dead. Nobody trusts this market. Huge supply. What was it? 20-something thousand NFTs. People away at conferences. The X algorithm is bad. I mean, this couldn't have been done in a worse way at a worse time. And it's playing out exactly like it would with all those things. So let's go peek at how many have sold. And I can tell you there's a ton left. I'm not even sure if it's half minted out. When I checked yesterday, it was like 30-something%, 38, 40%. Let's see where it's at now. It might be 50%. Maybe it's higher. We're going to find out. This ends in one day. Okay, let's see. It is 37% minted. I don't know what's up with the... I don't know what's up here with that 3 soul box, because that... There we go. Okay, this is not good, guys. Look. 37% minted. Keeping in mind that OG Doodles got a free claim, and the duplicators also got a free claim. And in fact, OG Doodles got 2 free claims. They've sold... Maybe those are actually not counted in 20,000. I thought this was like a 24,000 edition collection or something like that. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 20,000. Not good. There's no demand. There's no demand. Who wants it? And I don't say that in a shithead kind of way. I really mean it. Who wants to spend $140 on a secondary collection? Especially when you fumbled comms that hard. I think that Doodles went through... Well, look, I don't think the Doodles had their team shaken up, right? They got rid of so many people from the team. And by the way, the other part of the team that's gone is out with Nuoko, who are also doing something right now, stealing a lot of attention here. But poor marketing, poor comms. The timing is super sus. How much did they need the money? Right? You start questioning, did they mismanage all that money? It's not good. Where are we going to get enough buyers to sell out, what, 13,000 more NFTs? I don't see it. Actually, a lot more than 13,000. Again, that's just with the 1 soul boxes. There's still 4,500 of the 3 soul boxes. These are almost these are $400 to mint. I don't know where these buyers are coming from. Look, they got to do, and Henry and I were chatting about this, they got to do what Genkai did, which also struggled to mint in a really bad market. So what did they do? They took all the extra supply, airdropped it to their holders. That's what they should do. Either cap the collection right here, or take all those extra mints and give them to Doodles. Not even duplicators, give them to Doodles. In fact, when Henry and I were chatting, I'm like, dude, I remember how I dreamed of NFTs being like what I thought they would be. I remember what I thought it would be, which is project that comes in that has a big name, does another mint. But instead of selling that mint, they take the entire supply, and they give it to their holders, and their holders get to sell them for whatever the market's going to give them for it. That would have been a perfect thing to do here. And at this point, they can still do it. All the NFTs, the whole collection, you don't sell them. Maybe you keep some for a treasury. Maybe you keep half for a treasury or something. But all the NFTs that are to hit the market for the first time, it's your sellers that get them, and your sellers list them. The end. I dreamed it would go that way. And it hasn't, and I think it will at some point. Maybe I'm ahead of my time. No, but I really thought we would see that, just like I thought we'd see, FWOG with the strategy token equal owner or your fee shared with holders. Like, there's a lot of things I think would have happened by now and haven't. I still think those things come, but that's what they should have done here. Especially if they didn't need the money. You would have actually, that would have sent shockwaves through the space if the entire new collection was through your holders. The end. Would you guys like that? If a collection, whether it's something you're in or you saw that from the outside, if a new collection came out from a big brand and all the NFTs go to the holders, first time they hit the market is secondary, basically, right? It's the holders setting the price. You will find the correct price that way. But imagine if all the value, all of it, was driven through the holders. And then, yes, royalties on the collection, so the project makes money from fees. Would you like that? Do you think that would be a good look for a project? I think so. I would love it. I think that would look great for a project. I think that would be a massive success story, but it has to be a project that doesn't need to raise. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the problem here with Doopies and Doodles. They had to raise, and if so, they fumbled execution, and I wish they didn't. I wish it worked. But here you go. Drew Austin. He didn't even know he had to register. Again, nobody's seeing these tweets. Nobody's seeing the tweets. He didn't know he had to register. He missed out on his free claims. Mike would like it. Yeah. Is that something you thought we would see, Mike? Like, did you think we would see something like that by now? DK as well. Like it. Guys like it. Yeah, it's cool, dude. Did you guys think we would see that by now? Or is that something that's just like, oh, that would be cool? I thought we would see that by now. To me, it was like part of the magic of what you could do with NFTs. And that's a way that projects can reward their holders. How do you do it? We're trying to figure it out. And it's the rev sharing, but mint a new collection through your holders. The end. In a way, Kongs kind of did that. Right? In a way, to me, Kongs kind of did it. Jenny Kongs get to create the baby Kongs. They kind of did that. I want to see that. Make it even easier. Just mint them all to your holders' wallets. If you've never listed, you get multiple. If you've been holding X number of time, you get 1 or 2. You know what I mean? But some mechanic that you reward your best holders and the entire sale is driven through them. Would be cool. Would have been cool. And I think somebody will do that eventually. Somebody eventually will do it. Maybe, like, this is stupid, but maybe people haven't thought of that idea, although it's like low-hanging fruit. They should have. But anyway, there's still some things that are unclear about this too. Blocks asking, are those ultra-rare NFTs only in the 3 soul boxes? Like, doesn't know. Comms are bad. Timing's bad. It's not good. Not a good mint. I hope it turns around. I do. I really do. I don't see it. A day left, and they've got 15,000 to sell. I don't see it. Nuoko. This is the former Doodles guys executing flawlessly, pretty much flawlessly. Gave away badges. They're now asking you to take your badge and send it to an address. You have 48 hours. At this point, you have, just over 24 hours. Take your NFT, send it to this address. What do you get? Well, I kind of think there's a PFP collection coming. I think that's what's coming. And I like it. I think they are. I thought Doodles put on a masterclass. I thought Fwog put on a masterclass with his launch. I don't like the execution from Mint and beyond, Reveal and beyond. But I think Nuoko is putting on a masterclass too. How are those Nuokos priced right now? I bet a lot. Yeah, 4 soul floor. I want a Nakamigo, dude. I do. I should just buy one. It's a meme that people created them with Larva Labs, but also it could be. And would it matter? No, I don't think that matters anymore. I don't think it matters. But I like, what are Nakamigos? I really do want one. 0.13. Yeah, dude. I do want a Nakamigo at some point. I do like them a lot. Man, that's another time, another place, whatever. Anyway, love Nuoko. I think they're going to do phenomenal. I think you send the NFT. I think you end up with a PFP. I think. Cutoff is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see. Again, lots of talk more about offering equity. I love this conversation. Need to see more of it. It doesn't happen enough. Wrecked Brands is the face of that. And it's I'm telling you, it's part of why I'm bullish on next year. We're so close. We're so close to having that conversation being the main conversation on X, the ownership thing, right? We saw it with that tweet from like 2 weeks ago talking about rewarding your holders, revenue to holders. We saw it with that tweet I just had up here. We're so close. And just like I'm saying here, again, minting a collection through your holders, sharing revenue with your holders, what I thought FWOG was going to, we're so close to that being the main conversation. Someone's going to do it next year. That's where Clarity Act comes in play. And next year, we're going to see some kind of mint that does exactly that, exactly what Rec Drinks is doing. And now how they share their revenue, they buy back token. They have a percentage of revenue that goes to buying back token. That's a version of doing it. Also, their NFT holders got stocks. We see this copy next year. That I'm betting on. Now, what would be wild, and I'll tie this all together, but GG's, by the way, to Rec Brands and Rec Drinks and all this, partnering with Aspen Digital. Pretty cool. An ADGM regulated private wealth platform. Help them make partnerships there in the Middle East and Asia. Very cool. Remember, Binance just got, certified ADGM over the weekend. I'm going to wrap this all up in a second. I will just say, do you remember that Beeple physical I told you about yesterday? It was at LACMA. My buddy was out there. He's grabbed me a print. You actually kind of make your print. I was talking about that, and I didn't know the full story of how long it's been on display out there. I know it's out. It's gone in January. So I was like, okay, this is pretty under the radar. It's cool. I'm going to get a Beeple print to stick on my wall, which I am. Tweeted about yesterday, finally. So now this is catching on. People retweeted it. I think that exhibit had just gotten there. I think it just got there. So all of a sudden that print, if I was hoping it was a little more limited, probably won't be. So Node tweeted about this here. This is exactly that display. What was this called again? Diffuse control. Yeah. So real fucking cool. Here's what the prints do look like. Can't wait to get I cannot wait. I bet there's only going to be a couple of, maybe we'll say a few hundred of these minted. Maybe there'll be 1,000 plus. I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm going to have a Beeple print on my wall. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. God, I just want to go scan that QR code real quick too. I did that a lot. I did. Pudgy Penguins, their Play Pudgy party game hit 1 million downloads. I actually thought it did in October. Remember, I made that bet on Predict Base and it actually settled on yes. I think I won it. What? I don't know. All right. And to tie it all together, Rec Brands, Rec Drinks will be copied. You sense it. I hope you sense it, right? Like exactly what I'm talking about, the ownership thing. It is right there, like coming to the surface of the conversation here. What happens when this happens? An established company that's worth a lot that wants to launch a token, or not even established, but a new one that's got, time in and has value, is valued, we're talking again in the billions. How about if next year, and we'll just say next year, but I really mean beyond, but if next year, what if it's something like this, just lower the numbers, but something like that with our new framework where ICOs are totally kosher. The thing I'm talking about would be under the SEC though, but just play with me. ICOs at high valuations that end up being NFTs and tokens driven through the holders. I'm playing fantasy again. I know. I'm literally playing in fantasy land right now. But I believe it's coming. And I believe we're going to see some of that next year. I believe next year can be very, very special. I would let Elon. I like Elon. I would let him. You know what? I know you can't say that because it's like you're supposed to hate Elon. Probably not most people here, by the way, but I think Elon's a weirdo and I think he does good things. But what do I know? Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, smash the like on the show. Subscribe to CryptoSlam on YouTube. Make sure you're following the Swarm_AI for things coming. Follow CryptoSlam.io. Big show next week. And join us in Slam Nation. Slam Nation X. Come on the show. Get plugged into our data. We will help you with your building of your applications. And we'll build you endpoints. Custom endpoints. Sweet stuff. Anyway, we got a lot more to talk about. A lot more. But not today. Not today. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll see you back here 9 a.m. Eastern time. I hope you guys have a great day. Rate cuts today. Let's see. Fingers crossed, boys. Have a great day, fam. Goodbye.